What was the very first movie to make you cry? Homeward Bound, When Shadow Makes It Back. The Iron Giant. I remember watching it on VHS for movie night and then spending the rest of the night sad as hell. Bridge to Terabithia. My girl. Man, I forgot about this. He can't see without his glasses. Quote, don't bully me, but click. Yeah, the Adam Sandler movie. Hey, that scene was tough, man. I also cried when he told his dad he knew the trick and you could see how sad his dad was. Yup, gets me every time. And then when Adam Sandler's character dies in the parking lot, in the rain, and realizes he wasted his whole life. Child me was not expecting that amount of existential dread in an Adam Sandler movie. WALL-E. Lion King. My friends went to see the remake, and one of them told me that when they got to the part where Mufasa died he started fucking laughing. Castaway. I shit you not, LMAO. I was like 7 and my basketball and football were two of my best friends as well, so I related to him. Screaming. Will soon. Edit. It's nice to know that Castaway has made plenty of other people cry too, lol. I always felt weird about it. Okay, if I tell you, don't fucking laugh, Lego Batman. That's not bad. My mom has cried at Despicable Me. I don't know how. I watched that movie yesterday with my 3.5-year-old and cried in the scene where Gru tells his mom he is going to go to the moon and his mom replies something like, didn't they already send a monkey to the moon? Gru's little face immediately fell and he looked so hurt. I was imagining someone being that mean to my son, and the tears started flowing. He looked at his son with a sob in his chest, a heart full of woe as it beat in his breast, a cry on his lips and a tear in his eye. He looked at his son, and his son said, quote, but why? Quote, do one about my boner. Fox and the Hound. She literally drove away without her cat in that car, sad face. Asterisk, Fox, but yeah, I know. I remember bawling my eyes out in my basement because of that movie. How did they make this mistake but not get the title of the movie wrong? The Fox and the Hound. A touching story by Walt Disney Studios about a cat and a baby elephant who befriend each other in the woods, and whose friendship will be tested by the different paths they decide to take. Title unrelated. The answer is going to be The Land Before Time for a lot of people. I didn't cry until my 3-year-old was watching it. Littlefoot runs up to his dead mom and kept begging, Mama, wake up, for like 5 minutes. Why would the writers do that? The Green Mile. Gonna put my 2 cents in. Up. First movie ever to get me bawling in general, but Captain Phillips made me bawl in the theater. Bambi. I can't believe it took me this long to find this. As far as I know, this was the first movie I ever saw. And I lost it. Could not stop asking my mom what happened to Bambi's monsieur, like. Kept asking. For a long time. Years. The Rugrats movie. I was probably around 4 on the Orange movie was in my Easter basket. I was so excited. Halfway through I become distraught. The scene of Tommy cuddling Dill up under a cave during a thunderstorm made me lose it. I was convinced the kids were going to die. Their parents were going to be looking for them forever, etc. I pretty much had a panic attack and was crying to my mom, why would the Easter Bunny give me this movie? It is so sad. Quote, we laugh about it now. I remember crying pretty hard in the cinema when it looked like Spike Cat gave his life fighting the wolf. Big Fish. My dad's a big storyteller, so it hit home. Grave of the Fireflies. Forrest Gump. The older I get, the sadder it gets too. I used to only cry when he was talking to Jenny's grave. After becoming a parent, I now also lose it when he asks Jenny, is he smart? Or, the self-awareness he shows and immediate fear you feel for your child when they're born is just... ugh. I was surprised more people weren't saying this. This moment in the film was just pure emotion. Brutal. Pokémon. The first movie. First during the my brother scene. And then Pikachu's audibly increasing desperation as he futilely tries to wake Ash up. When Ash turns to stone and Pikachu's reaction gets me every time. The earliest I can think of is Pinocchio, when Geppetto is walking around in the rain looking for him. Hachi, Gesundheit, bro Saving Private Ryan. The part that got me was when Tom Hanks snuck off to have a cry. Man, the knife going through one of the soldiers slowly while the other just sat outside crushed my soul. I am so monsieur. I was like 12 and cried so much my sister still makes fun of me for it. I'm 30 now. Charlotte's Web. She crawls away to die alone so Wilbur doesn't have to watch her die crying face. Can we forget the sequel? Oh god, my kid is reading this right now for school and I'm dreading when he gets to the end. Pursuit of Happiness. That's a good one when him and his son are in the subway with a machine, supposedly looking at dinosaurs. That part kinda got me TBH. When they're sleeping in the public bathroom and the guy is banging on the outside of the door. That's what hit me. Marley and Me. Finally. I was looking for this movie. I'm kinda disappointed it's so low. But this was the first movie that genuinely made me cry. I mean, the dog is so precious. Owen and Aniston may not have been the perfect duo, but the dog surely stole the show. Especially the last half an hour or so. Greater than a dog doesn't care if you are rich or poor, educated or illiterate, clever or dull. Give him your heart and he will give you his. How many people can you say that about? I think about this every day. Low-key shed a tear thinking about it. When Marley dies it broke me. I cried in the cinema, and when I was at school next my teacher asked if I'd gotten over the death. I was really confused, but turns out he was a row or two behind me watching me bawling my eyes out. Y'all ever seen Watership Down? My dad read this to me when I was little, and had me watch the cartoon. I was horrified, but despite that, Watership Down has remained one of my favorite books. I loved the Netflix remake, though my son was entirely bored by it. There go my dreams of passing the animal carnage on to the next generation. Inside Out. I watched it shortly before my 17th birthday. When I was a bit younger than Riley, my family moved halfway across the country, so the whole movie was a bit too relatable for me. The scene that finally got me teared up a bit was after Riley ran away. When she came back home, and her parents were sharing their favorite memories of their old home. I think I shock cried during the Bing Bong scene. Meet the Robinsons edit. My first Reddit award smiley face. Not so much the movie, but the reveal in the Walt Disney quote before the credits. Keep moving forward. Dumbo. Still makes me cry. Update. Went to see it now because I was all tough and thought asterisk it can't still be that sad asterisk. And now I'm crying again. The thing is that as a child, you feel for Dumbo because it must be so scary to be away from your mom, your safety and favorite person, but as you grow up, you feel for the mother. How horrible and heartbreaking it must be for her. Same. For me it's his mom singing to him from Elephant Jail. I haven't got the nerve up to watch the remake yet because they used that song in the trailer. Toy Story 3. The furnace scene. Even thinking about it makes me weep. The furnace scene ends and the toys you've grown up but never held are safe. Your fears and sadness sated by their rescue. Andy boxes the lot of them up and takes them to the little girl's house and plays with the gang one last time. And then Andy left for college. Woody said goodbye, and Pixar ended my childhood right then and there. Lilo and Stitch. Lol, it was so long ago I can't even remember what made me cry but had me fucking sobbing at one point. God, the scene on the hammock when Lilo is about to get taken away by the social worker and Nani sings to her. Fuck. I still cry when I watch this movie, both during the hammock scene but also when Stitch explains that he found his family and that they're small and broken. It's still good. I can't remember mine, but I can remember my daughter's. A Little Princess. OMG. I loved that movie as a kid, but it also fucked with me. That one in A Secret Garden. Selena. I was 8 when I watched it with my mom. Thought it was a cool movie about a singer and Monsieur She's Dead. Then bang. My mom tells me it was all real, including her dying. I left the room sobbing and cried for 2 days straight. Probably didn't help it was only a couple months after my own brother died, so I didn't understand death completely. Cannot watch that movie to this day without experiencing that fresh childhood trauma, my dudes. I watched Selena in my Spanish class in high school, so I was around 17 to 18. At that point, I already knew that she had been killed. But the scene where she's killed had me struggling to not completely break down sobbing in class. What hit so hard was that the scene before was her talking to her husband about having kids and starting a family, and then she was gone. It's heartbreaking even now. E.T. Yep, I bawled when he died. And then when he went home. John Williams is primarily to blame. Monsters, Inc. My mom had to console me for hours because I was so upset that Boo and Sully weren't going to be together forever. Jojo Rabbit. I won't spoil it since it's relatively new, but there's one scene in particular that just had me sobbing. Man, that scene. That scene. Holy shit. I never expected something like that from a comedy about a Nazi kid who's imaginary friends with Hitler. A comedy about what now? And Hitler is played by a non-Caucasian Jew in whiteface. A comedy about a Nazi kid who's imaginary friends with Adolf Hitler. Did I stutter? Our Unexpected Office. Old Yeller. Fuck. Coco. This movie is incredible. I've never cried sad and happy tears in a movie. What a beautiful roller coaster. I've never, ever cried while watching a movie. But when Miguel was singing the song to Coco while she was on the verge of forgetting her dad, my tears just bursted out uncontrollably. Goddamn, it was a beautiful movie. Oliver and Company beginning scene where the cat is floating away in the rainwater all alone after not being adopted. Brutal. My family is not a crying family, so I had to try hard to hold back the tears so I wasn't made fun of. Edit. After I reread this to say by family I mean siblings. I'm the youngest, so any reason to make fun of me was fully taken advantage of. My parents would have never made fun of me for crying, even though it was uncommon. Train to Busan. Greater than. When the dad has to lock his daughter away in the cab while he jumps off a train. The sound of her crying and wailing and he's just sobbing is truly the most gut-wrenching thing on film this year, especially after all they went through. Less than. Greater than. The ending scene terrified me, dude. You totally think those soldiers are gonna shoot them, but then the daughter starts singing. Biggest sigh of relief I've ever let out. Less than. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Asterisk. My friends, you bout to know one. Asterisk. That I remember? Shrek. I'm not kidding. Tears of joy. Ogres are like onions. They'll make your eyes water. Where the red fern grows. Still makes me bawl. Titanic. I was just hitting puberty when I saw it, and romance was everything. I cannot believe how far I had to scroll down to see this. I was 10 and my parents took us to the drive-in to see it. I was mature for my age and many of my friends had seen it too. My mom actually stopped watching and asked if I was okay or needed to leave because I was bawling when Jack died. Terminator 2. When I was 8. It freaked my dad out so much. Thinking I was gay, he made me watch the sex scene in the first Terminator movie too. Literally. Set me straight. Man, my family is messed up. Edit. Well, I wasn't expecting this big of a reaction. No, I'm not gay, but I did grow up in a conservative Catholic family. If you think that was bad, you should have seen how worried they got when I was involved in theater in high school and college. I did become a member of LGBTQ clubs in both those stages of my education. After I earned my master's degree, I even wrote a book about sex positivity and how the Bible has constantly been misused to disenfranchise LGBTQ individuals. I also don't talk to my parents anymore. Haven't for many years. I'm not claiming to be the best advocate for people under that umbrella, but I let my 5-year-old son wear his sister's shoes and Halloween dresses if he wants. Like, have at it, kiddo. If it makes you happy, then do it. I'd rather my kids grow up comfortable in their own skin and know I've got their backs no matter what. Crying is also okay, even at the end of T2. What now? Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.